Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kirk. Your name is not. Let's jump into the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. And okay, so we got to see this tattoo. It says still a big no for me. Pretty sure the healed looks even worse. Okay, that's a healed photo, I guess. What I'm guessing is hummingbirds and roses in some sort of, what is it? Cross stitch or something like that. Look, this is the type of tattoo that everybody kind of goes, meh. Like, I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to make it look like it was cross stitch, but it's just a solid no for me. Like, if you just had a rose and hummingbird, I feel like that would make a million times better of a tattoo. And it's definitely a unique way of tattooing, and I think it's gonna stay unique. I don't think anyone's gonna look at this and be like, oh yeah, I want that. Nope, you know? Like, oh, it looks like a quilt. Well, maybe that quilt is better off not as a tattoo, you know? Maybe it would be a very beautiful quilt. This type of fabric-y, gimmicky, hey, look, my tattoo doesn't look like a tattoo. It looks like a sticker. It looks like a quilt. It looks like a etching. I don't understand it. Actually, etching tattoos, typically I'm okay with because they're done in all black. But this, I'm just like, meh. If this was a rose and hummingbird, no one would think any different. It'd be like, yes, sure. They wouldn't be like, oh, that's not a unique tattoo. And I'd be like, yeah, thank God, right? If this is unique, I'm glad. I'm glad it's unique because that means no one is gonna copy you. On to the next. Speaking of a very nice tattoo, this is Aaron Garin Tattoo. This is a Hayutoko. I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing that right. So it's pronounced Hiyotako. That is the pronunciation. It's supposed to be this like weird character. He's cheerful, he's happy, he dances around, he's having a good old time, breathing fire, one eye large, one eye small, a little party Japanese mask. This one is really cool. I like the black shading around it. Like, it looks really smoky. Looks like he's having a good time. I just like this tattoo. It's clean, it's nice, it shows you guys what a good Japanese tattoo can look like. Even if it's more on the American traditional side, that's all right. Okay, let's just keep it rolling. That's a beautiful tattoo. Good job, Aaron Garand. Aaron Garand, that is not your name. Your name is not Aaron Garand. Okay, Aaron Garand Tattoo. Okay, this is what tattoos look like when they are done by a permanent makeup artist. Now, I've got nothing against permanent makeup artists at all, except for when they venture into real tattooing. I think that it's dumb and insanely irresponsible, and they usually do a crap-ass job. I don't know why, but every time I think of a permanent makeup artist, I'm always like, It's like a hairstylist that couldn't quite make it as a hairstylist. It's a tattooer who couldn't quite make it as a tattoo artist. It's a tattooer who couldn't quite make it as a tattooer. And you're like, oh, what do? Permanent makeup. And then they do permanent makeup, and then they realize that, like, hey, the amount of people who need permanent makeup is very small, and the people who do permanent makeup that are really good really siphon up all of the clients. And so they go, hey, maybe I'll just do these like little tiny Pinterest tattoos. Like, how hard can it be? And then you see these tattoos and you're like, very, very difficult. She looks like if a librarian started tattooing. I'm sorry, this is just like the facts of it. Like, I'm sure she doesn't have any tattoos on her. She just like looks like she's a school counselor with that haircut, and then she started doing tattoos, which just feels weird to me. The whole thing is weird. I'm sorry. Like, these tattoos looked junked out, like they were done by someone who has no understanding of what tattoos are supposed to be. The placement feels like very spotty in a weird kind of way, not in the like edgy, cool kind of way. Sometimes these sleeves can be put together in a way that you're like, ah, yeah, that's cool. That's not this. This looks like they just like pulled out a roller and were like, okay, stay 2 inches away from everything. It's what happens when bad tattoos are done by people who don't know what tattoos are supposed to look like. Next. Go back to the library. Okay, what do we got next? Okay, we got the evolution of the Joker. Joker face tattoos. Nothing says Reddit kid like a Joker tattoo, and nothing tells me to stay away from this guy, like having stitches going across his entire face. The stitches, like these long stitched ones, actually tattooed very well. So good for Tattoo Bam Bam. He kind of crushed it for what he was given. I don't know for fact, but I'm gonna go ahead and make the safe assumption that tattooing this guy probably smells bad. I don't know, that's like my first thought. I'm like, I don't know. Is that how you guys feel? I think you do, okay? Something about Joker tats makes me go, you probably don't shower. Being inspired by Jared Leto's Joker is really embarrassing. This guy looks like SoundCloud rapper meets cartoon character of the Joker. I don't know. What else can you say about this? This part of the tattoo looks great. The rest is just what it is, you know? On to the next.
My body has went through so much over the past years tattooing, I can't really tattoo that well anymore. My hands are shaky. I have carpal tunnel, I have arthritis, I have a pinched nerve. Like I literally had to stop tattooing. You know, a lot of you guys, you think, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna be doing this shit forever, or yeah, no, you're not. Your body's gonna eventually give out. Some people are luckier than others because they kind of built a system to where they can, you know, preserve that time, like give themselves so much more time to do the thing that they love to do because they're given the break, because they're getting outside, because they're not taking 1 million clients a month, because they're structuring their business the right way.
Wow, I hadn't watched any of this except for the first like 2 seconds of it. And I would say that like, yes, tattooing actually is probably a more physically demanding job than a lot of people assume it is. I have recently been transitioning in my business to tattoo less. I still tattoo a fair amount, but it's like very systematic, like this guy was talking about. And I noticed that like, oh man, I have so much more energy when I'm not tattooing than when I do tattoo. It is kind of like one of those jobs that beats the crap out of you. Now, I sound like a big old baby boy. Sound like a baby boy, okay? Pick up little Kirky, put him in your arms, rub his little forehead because I get tired. I'm a tired man, okay? But tattooing is one of those jobs that like, it beats you down pretty good and you don't really understand it until you're thrown into it. Recently, my kids, my ex-tattoo apprentices have been traveling around and doing like guest spots in different places. And both of them were like, wow, I am beat up and tired and I just need to sleep. And I go, oh yeah, that's part of the job. Like you are just beat down. And yeah, it's one of those jobs. If you put the right things in place, you could get a couple extra years out of tattooing. But for the most part, I think most tattooers need to make adjustments and need to try and create businesses and systems that really take care of them at the end of the road. So yeah, something to think about. Something to think about. Little babies. We're just little babies. You gotta carry us, you gotta put us in here, and you're like, oh, I had a hard time doing my job. On to the next. So it says, when the tattoo school opens up next door to you. Wow. Okay, tattoo for less, wow. Okay, so a tattoo school is offering cheap tattoos and they're teaching people how to do tattoos. So it's like they teach the people how to do it and then you can come in and get a cheap tattoo because everyone there sucks. What a crappy business model. Okay, I predict, what are my predictions for the tattoo future? The fact that people are paying tuition to learn how to tattoo an orange is crazy to me. It's like, dude, what are you doing, bro? You are not learning anything. You don't know anything. You shouldn't be doing tattoos and the people in charge of them should be taken out back. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kittens. Look. Tattoo schools. I don't know anyone who runs them. I think that they're just idiots in charge of idiots charging idiots. And the fact that it's happening right next to real tattoo shops really makes me sad. But I think it's an easy sale. It's like if I was a tattoo artist and I had a tattoo school next to me, I'd put up a big sign that said something like, after you go to them, we'll fix it for you, or something like that. Be like, why go to a student when you could go to a professional? I don't know, something like that. It's just one of those things that like, let them do the cheap tattoos and move on, you know? Tattoo schools, bummer. Do I think there's gonna be a large percentage of tattooers who start at tattoo schools? No. I just think that those are usually the people who don't really understand things ever. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. On to the next. Okay, we got the Hollywood Wax Museum happening on this guy's arm, leg, torso, but a lot of them look like they're already starting to melt because they tattooed it in color portrait form. My least favorite tattoo style of all time. Something about Joaquin Phoenix with his mouth open, tongue out on my stomach. It makes me not want that. It's like way too close to my junk. And if that was there, I'd be like, no. I don't want to look at Joaquin Phoenix in that manner right there. Or Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know. What is the psychology of this happening here on someone? Where you're like, oh yeah, I'll go through hundreds and hundreds of hours worth of pain just to have homages to my favorite human beings that aren't real. People are into movies. I get that. You're into movies. A lot of people are into movies. I watch movie YouTube all the time. I like watch behind the scenes things. My girlfriend's here and she's the one who really watches it. I kind of like tag along, but it's cool. Movies are great. I just don't understand why you want to be covered head to toe in Joaquin Phoenix. Like, he's a great actor. I don't want to see his tongue on my stomach. I don't want to see his tongue on your stomach. I don't want to see his tongue anywhere. Like, keep your tongue in your mouth, bro. Everything about this, you know, Spider-Man, it looks like he had a Dragon Ball Z sleeve at one point. I can't tell, actually. That looks maybe untrue. Be careful. Be careful out here getting these perverts tattooed all over your body. On to the next.
So I was supposed to get a tattoo, but I didn't get a tattoo, and I really want my deposit back, but my artist does not want to give me my deposit back. So tell me if I'm crazy for wanting my deposit back. Let me explain. So I was supposed to get a set of deer antlers on my chest here, and I messaged the artist, and I was like, hey, this is what I want. I really like your style. What do you think? She's like, yes. So we plan it. I get there. She shows me a sketch she has, and it's kind of like just a sketch. And she's kind of like, yeah, this is just a sketch. I'm kind of like, you probably don't want this on your body. And I was like, yeah, no, like, this is what I want. I want this, 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 and this. And I probably should have written it down, but she was like, okay, we'll meet later, and I'll change all these things. So later comes, and she sends me the art, and it's just straight up not what I asked for. Like, it looks cool, but I'm just like, yeah, that's not what I asked for. And I'm at work. My coworker looks over my shoulder and was like, damn, that looks like shit. I wasn't even gonna say that, but like this drawing that she's now sent me is kind of like her finished product that she like worked really hard on. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry, but like, this is going on my bust. This is just straight up not what I asked for. I said it way nicer, but like, I can tell you everything I needed again, or we can find I can dig for an exact reference picture, or I can find another artist, up to you. And she was like, yeah, you're gonna have to find another artist. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, can I have my deposit back, or have the art that you made that I paid for? Either one. It's still cool art. I just don't want it on my bust for the rest of my life. And I got ghosted. And I think I'm gonna message her again, because like, it was $50. $50 is $50. And I feel like I should get that deposit back, because the deposit is so I don't cancel, but I didn't cancel. She canceled. So I should, like, I just gave her $50 for nothing. I should either get the art of $50, right?
Okay. I had to break this one down. I had to see it. I had to listen to it again. Let me try and answer her question. If I was the artist and I didn't want to work with someone anymore, would I send them back a deposit? Probably not. It's one of those weird ones. Yeah. Because I would not take this client anyways. Like, this is not my type of client who's like asking for a bunch of different things on their tattoo. That's just not how I tattoo anymore. But if it was how I tattooed, and I took the original deposit knowing that this is the type of tattoo she'd want, and then you decide to not draw for her and not give her what she wants, then maybe you should give back the deposit, okay? I'm trying to think, because it's not exactly the way I work, right? For the way I work, and the way a lot of other tattooers are, is like, hey, this is how I draw, this is how I tattoo. If you like that, make that appointment. But like, if you're going to ask me for, like, I want antlers, and I want these antlers to have this and this and this and this and this, then that to me is a sign that I'm not the right tattooer for you. I do kind of what I want, with you being like, hey, I want this and this, I'd be like, cool. And then I draw that up, and you really get like 1 or 2 chances to change it, but after that, I'm like, no, I'm not changing nothing after that, just because that's not how I tattoo usually. But if I was in that situation where they were like, hey, I want to change this, and then I want to change this, and then I want to change this, and we got to that point, I'd probably be like, hey, either pick something else that's like flash, or I'll give you back your deposit just to get out of my hair. Yeah, that's how I feel. Give back the deposit. She wanted a tattoo. I had to work this one out in my head because it's kind of different. Give back the deposit. You didn't want to do the tattoo on the girl. You should have probably known that from the beginning, especially if you sensed that whatever, it was in misalignment, whatever, on to the next. Smudging ointment on what looks like a brand new tattoo without gloves on. Now I know 90% of you guys, 99.9% of you go home and you do this to your own tattoos anyways. This is just gross to look at. Dragon Ball Z, dude, I hate Dragon Ball Z. There's a sleeve out there that is Dragon Ball Z, half sleeve with like acne cover up. Yeah, it looks all right. This doesn't. This looks bad. This looks bad. This one just looks like it's Dragon Balls, you know? Like, no. On to the next. Just Dragon Balls up and down my screen. This one is a palm tattoo done by Luke Ashley. Now, in the past, we're gonna pause it right here before we see the healed photo. This is all fresh. We talked about this in the past. Putting color into palm tattoos usually is a very bad idea. Somehow Luke Ashley tends to pull off whatever he does, whatever magical, mystical BS that exists, he does it somehow. And I think this is gonna be a good example of it. Look, that is the healed version of that tattoo. Now we can already see that the yellow, orange, some of that, the yellow and the orange are starting to fade, especially the yellow on the lighter side. But dude, it's pretty crazy how he's able to pull this off and make it stick in the skin. I'm gonna say that this is an extremely painful tattoo and something that shouldn't be done very often. And you know how I know how Luke Ashley puts in a tattoo? He smashes in tattoos. You know how I know that? If you look at the green part that's right here, when it's fresh, you know, it looks thick, but look at it when it's healed on a normal part of the body and it's like blown out like super gnarly. So I imagine that's how he tattoos on all the parts of the body. So those hands, like when he puts them in, he just puts them in. Okay, things blown out to shit. So yeah, good for him. He can make a palm tattoo stay. I don't want to get a regular tattoo from him because that looks like it hurts. On to the next.
You having power issues with your machines? A little inconsistency, you move them, they sound different, it doesn't work as well. Take your clip cord, some steel wool, just clean off the contacts.
That's for all you tat daddies out there. Just a little fun fact, because you guys are dumb. You guys don't know things. You guys are stupid. Don't worry, I'm also equally stupid. I'm pretty bad when it comes to machine stuff. But yeah, you guys are idiots. So clean off your contacts, you jabrones. Next. This is a tattoo of a mandala thing that we're gonna watch. And I'm gonna express to you guys how much I hate this, okay? It's a very nice tattoo, don't get me wrong. Beautiful, gorgeous, looks like it's gonna be very nice. Anxiety. Anxiety is the name of this game and I want nothing to do with it. Why on God's green earth are we not putting this into an iPad? I have no clue. Put it into an iPad, jabroni. God damn it, dude. Giving me anxiety. No, I'm just kidding. By all means, it ends up looking like a very beautiful tattoo. But I hate seeing it, dude. Anxiety. I'm sure he would give you some reason on why he needs to do it this way. I don't understand it, but hey, it looks great. We're gonna watch it again and again and again until I finally feel comfortable, which is never going to happen because man, oh man, I don't get it. Why are we doing it this way? Beautiful, elegant, great looking tattoo. I hate you for it. I hate you for it. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you in a few days. And then after that, I'll see you in a few more days. And then after that, I'll see you in a few more days. Ciao